The vanilla Stronghold is the same every time you visit it, but I'm updating this classic structure with new builds, updated mechanics, and custom end portals unique to every biome. From the deserts to the plains, my goal is to make following your Eyes of Ender new and exciting each and every time. When I started this project, I split Minecraft's 54 overworld biomes into 8 different groups based on similar design, with the idea that each group would eventually get their own custom stronghold. Well, I'm happy to announce that with the release of the Savannah Stronghold, we now have 7 different biome strongholds. So let's bring it home with the last remaining group that still generates the vanilla stronghold, the Plains biomes. This biome group will of course include the regular plains as well as the sunflower plains, but it's also going to include some extraneous biomes that haven't really fit anywhere else, such as rivers. I'm also going to include the meadow biome since it's kind of the plains of the mountain region. And perhaps controversially, the Plains Stronghold is going to generate into the windswept hills and windswept gravelly hills. This is primarily because these biomes don't really belong with any of the other biome groups. They don't have snow, so unlike many of the other mountain biomes, they don't make sense for the snowy stronghold. They don't have the tree coverage to justify being lumped in with the forest strongholds. And they don't have a unique identity of their own to warrant making a whole custom stronghold just for them. Fortunately, for what I have planned for the Plains Stronghold aesthetically, I think the windswept biomes will still fit in very well. You see, although the trail ruins don't generate in the plains or meadow or windswept hills or basically any of the biomes that I'm going to make the Plains Stronghold generate in, I do think that this structure serves as a great template to make this Plains Stronghold feel alive and lived in and part of the world, while also being different from many of the other strongholds that we already have. From mud bricks and packed mud to various types of terracotta, both regular and glazed, plus the various types of bricks and stone bricks that can appear in these structures, I think it will really serve as a great base and a great block palette for a much larger structure to expand on the design. I'm thinking I'll do a floor of mostly mud bricks. I really like this block both aesthetically. We've used it in some of the other strongholds, but never as a floor. So I think that will add just some additional variation from some of the other strongholds we already have. And then I think also stone bricks are going to be an important part of the structure as well. Probably a lot of the walls, though maybe not entirely. We of course have the terracottas here, which we can incorporate both as decoration on the walls in addition to the stone bricks, or even for some rooms, like we see in the trail ruins, we might do rooms that are almost entirely made of terracotta for the walls. We'll probably also have some rooms where bricks are the bulk of the walls, again, like we see in trail ruins, but I especially want to utilize it for the roofs or ceilings of many of the rooms and hallways. The great thing about this block palette is it affords a huge amount of variety, so even though the block palette will remain consistent across the entire structure, we don't need to use it in the same way for every room, while still making it feel like they all belong together. I've got some basic initial ideas based on the trail ruins and some of the blocks that I've pulled from it, but let's head into a flat world and actually start assembling some starting structures. So for all of these initial structures, I've gone ahead and just kept the bulk of the structure aesthetic and design, this stone brick wall with the terracotta as an accent. Again, we'll probably change this up quite a bit once we get into building the rooms, which will come a little bit later. But for these initial pieces, since they're going to be, in theory, some of the most common pieces, I want them to be pretty consistent throughout the whole structure. This right here is the starting staircase. This is going to be the first structure piece that generates, from which all of the other pieces of the Plains Stronghold will branch out. This is an important part of stronghold design, especially when considering the playstyle of speedrunners, who typically, at least in the vanilla stronghold, utilize the starting staircase to help determine where the structure actually starts, because that can dictate roughly the direction where they can search for that end portal. I have 3 designs of short corridor here. This very simple one, nice 3x3 hallway. This one that's got a little bit more decoration in the walls. And then this one here, which looks kind of like a small room as part of the corridor, and it's going to have a spawner in it generated by this jigsaw block, which we'll handle later. You'll notice through all these corridors that we have some small piles of gravel, and that's something else that I want to carry over from the trail ruins. In the interest of making each stronghold feel unique not only aesthetically but also mechanically, I think it'll be really fun to have archaeology play a role in the exploration of this stronghold. So we'll probably find a way to incorporate some suspicious gravel into some of these piles of gravel, especially as we get into the room designs. Over here we have a downward staircase that exits out to the left, one that exits out to the right, and one that just goes straight, very similar to what you might find in a vanilla stronghold. Now, you've probably noticed pretty quickly this big ol' cube of sponge. This is meant to represent the outline of these corridors. All the corridors are the same size, and they all have an entrance and an exit in the front and back right here, represented by this 3x3 hole, rather than the larger 5x5 gap in what is otherwise kind of a wireframe shape. I've included this here so that I can plan out where this is going to be positioned in a larger space. Again, I try to make all of the Biome Strongholds feel a little bit different, not just aesthetically, not just mechanically, but also in how they're actually laid out and assembled. And one method of assembly that I haven't repeated for a long while is that of the Jungle Stronghold. The way the Jungle Stronghold rooms work is we have some kind of a consistent shape, some kind of a large wireframe cube or rectangular prism, something like this. And then we define some consistent entrances or exits, some doorways that can go into or out of this particular room design. Then I can take this rough wireframe shape and design a few different types of rooms that all fit this shape, that all have their doorways into and out of that room in the same position. This allows me to have a variety of shapes and rooms that I can then use to build larger, more consistent complexes of rooms that are interconnected with each other, like a large puzzle. Let's build those rooms, and then I'll show you exactly what I mean when it comes to putting them all together. So since I had the Jungle Stronghold to work from as a base, I was able to copy over the sizes of all the different room designs that I used there, but then I just shuffled around where all of the doorways are positioned so that we get some different layouts for all of the rooms compared to that former stronghold. So if we take a look at this big box one, for example, we have a doorway down in this lower left, one up here in the middle, one in the upper right, and one in the lower middle. And we can see how that gets translated down into this room design here, which is kind of like a stonemason or bricklayer's workshop. Although this is all considered one room as far as the design, the layout of the structure is concerned, you can see that it doesn't necessarily need to be built as a room. This one is more like a small series of hallways that have kind of like a workstation / shop setup going. We of course still have those consistent piles of gravel, and then we can go up these stairs here to get to the upper level, which in this case happens to be designed very much the same, at least as far as the floor plan, but does have a different structure design, aesthetic design for the walls. We have this much more heavy brick usage, and the ceilings are made of yellow terracotta instead of brick. I'm also incorporating a lot of the glazed terracotta into the walls, and that varies based on the actual material of the walls too. But the mud brick floors remain consistent regardless of the design of the walls and ceilings, and that's because I really like the sounds that get played when you walk across them. This is an area of structure design that I feel is underexplored, that auditory sensation as you're walking around and exploring a structure. I've been trying to pay a lot more attention to it in all the structures that I've been designing lately, and I'm really happy with the results. But you can see we have a doorway in this upper middle here, just like we have on the wireframe here, and same we have one in what is now the upper left from our perspective right there, just like we do here. And that remains true over in this structure as well, even though it has a much different shape and design for the actual interior of the room. We have this kind of upper loft sort of hallway type section. The staircase between the two levels is in a completely different location. And then on the lower level, we have a much larger proper room that takes up the whole space. That's got this little depressed farm down here with all of these wheat seeds, and then this kind of large walkway that goes around the farm to the various entrances and exits. And again, trying to vary the design of the walls, not only between each room, but between different sections of a larger room piece. Now that large room there is the farm that we just looked at, but there's also a few other farms that are at different sizes of rooms. We've got this one down here that is in a 4-way intersection. It's just got a small little farm plot here in the middle. And then we have another one, I believe over here, yes, which is in this kind of short hallway or 3-way intersection, depending on how you look at it. And it's got a slightly larger farm, plus a composter, just like the larger room did. This is a great design opportunity that is afforded to me by virtue of having so many different sizes and shapes of rooms. I can have the same type of room, a farm plot or a bakery or something, but I can make it appear differently depending on the different size of room that is needed or happens to generate in a particular area. So while these smaller farm pieces here are probably going to be more common, if you do find a larger farm piece, it still feels like it's part of the structure. This just happens to be a much larger supplier for the food that might have served and sustained the people that lived in the structure when it was operating. Flying through just a couple more rooms, we have this one here that might have been some kind of a housing area. It's got a couple of beds in these separate bedrooms, one of which even has a secret ladder that goes down to the lower area, this one right here. And then you can get to some more housing units down here. Some of these doors might be blocked by gravel, some of which might be suspicious gravel, so you'll have to do a little bit of archaeology and excavation to explore the entire stronghold. Now, all of these wireframes are not just useful and important for designing the actual rooms, they're still around because I need them to design the complexes, which are what these big ol' floating jigsaw block structures are over here. For this Plains Stronghold, as well as the Jungle Stronghold, of course, it's built up of each of these rooms. So I basically pulled and copied over all these wireframes into a volume and then positioned them so that their doorways lined up with one another, and then just removed the sponges and turned it into structure void. And then I just left behind the jigsaw blocks that are going to generate each of those respective rooms. So this one right here is going to generate one of those larger rooms, either the bricklayer, the stonemason guy, or the larger farm room here. And it is set up so that it's not going to rotate and is always positioned so that that lower left doorway, that lower left exit, perfectly lines up with this small little hallway I had to build right here to extend out to the edge of the bounding box. Anywhere you do see these jigsaw blocks that have a metal or ore block beside them is a potential connection into or out of this complex. For emerald blocks, that is a potential entrance into this complex, and if it doesn't get selected, then it's going to generate another complex. And anywhere you see a jigsaw block that has a diamond block beside it is going to have a chance to generate either the end portal room or another complex that itself has a chance to generate the end portal room or another complex that can, and so on. What we call a type 1 complex. Because in addition to creating complicated but learnable navigation, complexes also exist to ensure and guarantee that we always have only and exactly one end portal per stronghold. I basically need to make it so that every complex, every set of jigsaw block connections into and out of a particular structure piece only has one jigsaw block that is able to generate that end portal or a piece on the way to it. And then the reason we have so many different complexes, and indeed so many of the same complex, is so that that particular jigsaw block that can generate the end portal is not in the same position every single time this complex generates. Anytime we generate a complex that isn't able or shouldn't be able to generate an end portal or another complex on the way to it, then that's what we have this type 2 complex for, that contains no jigsaw blocks that have that diamond block next to it, no jigsaw blocks that are able to generate the end portal, but is otherwise indistinguishable from a type 1 complex as far as navigation is concerned. All of these other jigsaw blocks that have a gold block or a lapis or amethyst block, those are going to be able to generate additional rooms that won't lead anywhere. That'll just kind of be the end cap to a particular chain of complexes. We have two pretty small complex designs so far. This one only has 2 rooms in it, and they're always going to be I believe this larger room and then this middle room right here. And then this complex is a little bit bigger. It has, I believe, 4 rooms in it that'll interconnect with each other and then have entrances and exits out to other rooms or complexes. This should give us enough to get started and make sure that everything is generating correctly. So let's head into another test world and make sure that we're getting complexes, that we're getting rooms inside of those complexes, and that everything appears to be fitting with each other correctly. All right, not super huge, but a pretty good kind of mixture of probably a few different complex sizes and a good interconnection of these rooms. We of course have the starting staircase over here, and that appears to be generating what I suspect is a small complex, maybe a medium one. Yeah, I think it's a medium one because I think this room, that room, that room, and that room are all kind of joined together. We've got generating an end cap room over here, happens to be a pretty large one, but then that connects into what is probably another medium complex right over here, and then maybe a small complex over this way. No, that's another medium one actually. I'll certainly need to create some larger sizes of complex. This is definitely not stretching wide enough or branching quite enough to create that complicated navigation that I want, but it does still give us a pretty good idea of how things are interlocking together. Before we go inside, I do see, of course, we have this huge chain of downward staircases right here. This looks clearly unintentional, and it's not necessarily intentional, but it is what I would expect right now. This is where the end portal is attempting to generate, and because of the way that I have set up the template pool, I've made it basically recursive, so it keeps trying to place the end portal until it successfully does, and that kind of ends the chain. But because we don't have the end portal room, it just keeps placing all of these downward staircases until it runs out of room. Let's fly on inside and we can walk around in here and see how the rooms actually end up adjoining to each other. So we have a vault room here looking very nice, and then we can go over either to the right where we get, I believe, what is a husbandry room. So we've got kind of a loom up here, some wool, a bit of a leather working station, and then we can go down the stairs where we have what might have been kind of indoor pasture when the stronghold was being operated. You'll also notice that some of the stone bricks are being replaced with cracked stone bricks, and in some of the other rooms, the mud bricks are being replaced partially with packed mud. We've also got some polished granite in the ceilings where there were bricks. All of that is being handled by a processor to add just a little bit of random variation to the structure so it doesn't look quite as rigid. It looks a little bit more kind of decayed, a little bit more natural despite being clearly a built structure. Processors are also how I'm handling the suspicious gravel here, and I'm actually doing something that I haven't really explored a lot before, which is using a capped processor rule. This is the same way that the trail ruins handle their suspicious gravel. Normally, for a processor rule like changing stone bricks into cracked stone bricks, you define some random chance, like 20%, that any given stone brick block is going to get replaced with cracked stone bricks. And you can do the same for the suspicious gravel here. But if we have like a whole bunch of gravel, we don't want necessarily 20% or even a hard 5% to be suspicious gravel, because that could apply to more than 5% of blocks. That's how random chance works. There is technically a chance that an entire room like this could be entirely cracked stone bricks because each block is going to get evaluated individually. And if there's too much suspicious gravel, not only is that just a whole lot of loot, but it also turns what is intended to be a fun treasure hunting archaeology experience into a chore to have to slog through all the suspicious gravel to make sure you didn't miss any. So we can use a capped processor to basically say, okay, you still apply that 20% chance to some random assortment of the gravel blocks to replace it with suspicious gravel, but as soon as you successfully do that, say 4 times, then stop checking any more gravel, stop placing suspicious gravel, so you can have a maximum of 4 suspicious gravel blocks in a room, as an example. And then in the processor, I can define also the loot table that the suspicious gravel uses for the item that gets kept inside of it. I believe I'm using the same loot table as I am for all the decorated pots, because that is something that is consistent across all of the different structures, all the different strongholds in the Biome Strongholds data pack. So all the suspicious gravel is just another opportunity to get yet more incidental loot, but in a perhaps more interesting or unique way compared to some of the other strongholds. This is all a good start and gives us a great base to work from. I'll certainly need to add more of those larger complexes, like I said, as well as probably a few more room types. I think, for example, there's only 2 of these large room variants. It'd be great to have at least 1 more. But before we get started on that, I think I'd like to get rid of this giant chain of downward staircases. So let's head back to the build world and put together that end portal room. If you're enjoying the video, please remember to like and subscribe for more custom structures, world gen, and data pack content. If you'd like to learn to make custom structures yourself, check the link in the description for my very thorough written guide that I've made for Data Pack Hub. The Biome Strongholds data pack is available to download for free with the link in the description, but the Plains Stronghold will be available in early access for my patrons until I'm confident that it's ready for a public release. Now, although the Plains is the final biome group that I have planned out, I do hope to be able to continue to update the Biome Strongholds data pack, so don't let those ideas stay in your head. Feel free to leave comments about what other kinds of strongholds you'd like to see. So here is our end portal room. I decided for the bulk of the room to keep the stone brick design with the yellow, red, and blue terracotta, but for this upper section we're using the brown terracotta design. So as you go in, actually I think this might be gray terracotta, yeah. But as you go into the entrance, you start up on this bridge. This jigsaw block will probably spawn a spawner once we actually build those, and then you have the staircase to go down into the end portal room proper. And I decided to do something a little bit different for this end portal room. Most of the Biome Strongholds end portals work largely the same way. We have the bedrock frame here in the middle, and the end portal frames are scattered all around the room. The Ice Stronghold is one slight exception. All the end portal frames are still scattered around the room, but they are locked, and you have to find keys throughout the stronghold to be able to open them. I didn't want to go quite that far for this Plains Stronghold, but I did go just a little bit of a step further than some of the others, like even the Jungle Stronghold, where you have to search through a maze to find them. So we have one end portal frame that's right here, but all of the other end portal frames are hidden inside of gravel here. And specifically, if we go ahead and break one of these, you'll see that there actually aren't even any end portal frames at all. Instead, we just have this end stone, and that's so that I can replace it with sometimes end portal frames that already have eyes in them. There'll be a 10% chance for that using a processor, just like all the other Biome Strongholds and the vanilla Stronghold normally. But the majority of this end stone is actually going to get replaced with suspicious gravel. My idea is to really lean into the archaeology theme for the end portal room in particular. So you'll have to dig through all of these piles of gravel that are around the room. There are 16 of them. And then underneath 11 of them, you will find either the end portal frame that already has an eye of ender in it, or for most of them, like I said, a suspicious gravel. If you brush the suspicious gravel, you reveal the end portal frame and be able to place your eye of ender in it no problem. But if you break the suspicious gravel without brushing it, you'll still get that end portal frame, so you can actually complete the end portal. That's obviously still an important part of it, but it'll also trigger some kind of a trap. All of the Biome Strongholds feature these decorated pots, and some of them, specifically these ones that have creepers on them, are trapped pots. So when you break them, instead of getting loot, they will deal you a little bit of damage, give you a status effect, something like that. For the Plains Stronghold, this deals 4 magic damage, so you can't block it with armor or anything like that, and it also gives you weakness for a few seconds, and I think I will duplicate that over as one of the trap options for breaking a suspicious gravel that has an end portal frame inside of it. But I'll also add a few more traps as we come up with more ideas for the stronghold, specifically once we figure out what mobs are going to spawn from the spawners, because probably one of the traps will be able to spawn one of those mobs. Now you'll notice for the end portal room, I have also created a sponge wire frame for it, and that is so that when I construct the larger complexes, I can plan out one of them to be the portal complex and make sure that all of the surrounding rooms are able to generate around the end portal that will generate inside of that complex. That's just one kind of additional step to help ensure that we always get an end portal room. So sometimes the end portal room will be kind of on its own, but other times it'll be built into a complex, so you'll have to really check all of the complexes and all those different connections instead of only searching for the ways in and out of that particular complex. But we'll have to actually build that, and probably while we're at it, I think we'll go ahead and build a few more rooms as well, possibly even a few that have some secrets, or maybe even some new custom puzzles, as has become tradition for the Biome Strongholds. All right, here are those monstrosities, these much larger complexes that are going to space out the Plains Stronghold way more than these little small fries that we had before. Before we get to those and how the end portal fits into them, let's take a look at some of the other normal rooms that I've added. First up, we have this small carpeted four-way intersection that is hiding a trapdoor down into a small secret room where there will be a chest full of treasure. In a similar vein, we have a short hallway or three-way intersection room that is designed like a graveyard. It's probably going to have a chance for some loot or something, but most importantly, underneath one of these graves is going to be a chest with, once again, some more treasure. We've got a larger variant of the graveyard room that is one of these larger two-story ones, and so if you were to enter the graveyard from up here, you'll see that there doesn't appear to be anywhere to go. We have a little bit of treasure underneath this grave, but underneath this one, we have a ladder that goes down into the rest of this particular room, which is designed kind of like a small catacomb. It's got a few areas where the gravel has completely filled in some of the hallways, so again, you'll need to do some excavation if you want to find the other exit or entrance into or out of this particular room. Secret passages are one of the most fun parts of Stronghold designs like this because you can learn where you expect a secret passage to be based on the sizes and shapes of rooms that you happen to come across, based on what you know about the complex as you learn more about how the Stronghold is assembled. And so with that in mind, in this music room here, which fills a similar role to the baker or the farm as far as like making the Stronghold feel lived in, I've added a new kind of puzzle, which I'm calling the music puzzle or music secret passageway. Anytime there is a music passageway or music puzzle, there's going to be a decorated pot that has a treasure chest on it that's always going to contain a music disc. That way you can always solve this puzzle. When you put a music disc in this jukebox, after a few seconds, the jukebox will vanish, the music disc will drop, and it'll reveal that underneath it is a ladder that goes down into the rest of this particular room design, where we have the same jukebox setup, same treasure chest pot here, that you can open from the other side. It'll open both sides when you solve either jukebox. This is so far the only room where solving the jukebox puzzle or revealing the jukebox passageway is the only way to access more of the room as far as entrances and exits, but we do have a variant over here in this cartography room, specifically on the lower floor, where solving the jukebox puzzle just reveals a secret room back here, secret compartment, that'll probably have some loot, but doesn't go anywhere else. These 5 additional rooms I think will really help fill out the Stronghold and all the different complexes, especially as we now have 2 more sizes of complexes that have even greater variety of room configurations to travel between. This slightly larger complex is still only 2 floors, just like the small and medium complex types, but features 7 rooms that will be combined and interlocking together, and I believe 7 different entrances and exits into and out of this particular complex. So even though it isn't super huge, it's going to feel a lot more compact, a lot more interconnected as you're walking around and trying to find your way to that end portal room. And then we have this extra large complex, which is, I believe, roughly 3 or 4 floors, depending on how you're counting all the different interlocking rooms as they travel up and down staircases, either built into the complex or built into the rooms themselves to travel between their various entrances and exits. The extra large complex is almost identical to the portal complex that we have down here, just some of it has been carved out so that this jigsaw block down here in the bottom can generate that end portal room to connect to one of these other rooms in the front here. So even if you do learn to recognize an extra large complex based on some of the ways that the rooms connect with each other or some of these kind of hand-built parts of the complex that aren't part of a room, that don't get generated randomly, you will still have to check if it's a normal extra large complex or if it is the portal complex and the portal room is hiding somewhere inside of it rather than branching off from it. We're going to have to make sure that the weights for all these complexes are adjusted so that the Plains Stronghold doesn't end up being super duper huge, partly because that's just going to limit and restrict the ability for the end portal room to always be able to generate, and partly because at a certain point, at a certain size, it just becomes way too annoying to actually explore and search the whole stronghold. We still have a lot more to do, but now that we have these really big guys, and of course the end portal, probably should head into a test world and make sure that all of this in particular is generating correctly, and that the end portal is generating consistently. Alright, this stronghold is a fair bit larger, a little bit more comparable to a vanilla stronghold in size, at least sort of a average vanilla stronghold size. We have our starting staircase right here that leads into what I suspect is a large complex based on the number of rooms that are kind of really close in proximity to each other. We've got a hallway down here that's connecting two rooms. It appears to create a nice loop. So that suggests that, yeah, this is a large complex rather than like two medium complexes that happen to be next to each other. Because otherwise, we probably wouldn't get that clean connection. Doesn't appear we have an extra large complex nor a portal complex. Instead, we have this staircase here that goes down and just generates the portal room, which is totally fine. We don't need it to always be in a portal complex. The idea is you're never going to know which it's going to be in, so you have to kind of check. Let's go ahead and hop in here and see not only what some of the newer room designs look like when combined with these other original room designs, and also see how easily we can navigate to that end portal room. We've got what appears to be a cartography room here, so if we go down those stairs, we'll be able to see and test that jukebox puzzle as well. But I do want to see if we go through here. I don't think from the outside, as I recall, that this is the way to the end portal. Yeah, this appears to be a dead end. We've got an end cap room of this vault room, and then those are just two dead ends, two doorways to kind of block off what would be potential entrances into this room that didn't get selected. So we'll have to backtrack a little bit. This appears to be a music room. It's possible that this could connect to the end portal room, so maybe let's actually go ahead and test that jukebox puzzle. If we put the other side music disc in here, it's going to play for a few seconds, and then we get that reveal for the ladder, and we'll always get that music disc back, of course. I haven't had the time to learn or memorize the layout for all these complexes, but based on how they appear to be connecting to each other, I think that we're probably on the wrong track here. Yeah, that's a dead end. Pretty sure we can go back through this music room here. No, that's a dead end already, so we probably need to go downstairs from this cartography room. I believe, where did we say the starting staircase was? Right here. So if we come into the cartography room, we come over here, and I think this is going to probably be the end portal. So it ended up being quite close to, yes, to that starting staircase. So we definitely want to adjust the weights, especially for possibly that first stage of complex that generates from the starting staircase, just to make it a little bit more likely that we get a large or extra large, so that we can ensure that we have a good amount of travel between the starting staircase to the portal room. But we can already see that two of these piles of gravel have some particles pointing to our bedrock portal frame, which means that they had that 10% chance to successfully already have an Eye of Ender placed inside. Again, just like the vanilla stronghold. We can come down here and test the gravel mechanics. So this one here does appear to be a suspicious gravel. So if we brush it, it's not going to produce any loot, which is kind of your tip off, because then once you reveal it, we get our end portal frame, and we could place an Eye of Ender inside of that to get that same particle stream going towards the bedrock frame. We'll go ahead and brush this so it doesn't break when we dig it out, so that we can access another one of these gravel bits and see, okay, so this one is regular gravel, it's not suspicious gravel, so there is no end portal frame there. I've made it so exactly 5 of those endstone blocks that we had preset in each of these piles of gravel will get replaced with gravel instead of suspicious gravel, so that they do not produce an end portal frame when you remove them. Let's go ahead and check another one of these and break it instead of brushing it after we get rid of this guy. Okay, so if we break this, and we get that trap pop behavior, so we took a bit of damage there. We've got weakness for about 20-25 seconds, but nothing too crazy, especially if you've already eliminated the spawners that will eventually have generate in this room. Let's go ahead and rush through this so that we can test and demonstrate that there are exactly 12 end portal frames and that they successfully open the end portal despite it being made of bedrock. So we had 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 of those positions had gravel instead of suspicious gravel, and so they did not produce end portal frames when I broke them or when I brushed them, but all the rest did, including the 2, of course, that generated with the Eyes of Ender already. That leaves 11 total among all of these piles of gravel, and 1 that is always revealed initially, so that if you want to place that one last and see the end portal open, then you can. Unless, of course, it happened to generate filled as well. All of this works together to make the process of opening the end portal feel like you are building up to something. It has lots more weight to it, lots more gravity to it, and creates this really awesome experience enhanced by all the visual effects. However, although the end portal frame is very cool to explore and put together, we are still missing what makes the rest of the stronghold worth exploring and working your way through. We of course have archaeology and plenty of loot by way of the suspicious gravel and decorated pots, but we're missing much more valuable loot in form of chests and trial vaults that are spread more randomly throughout the structure, as well as, most importantly, a more proper challenge in the form of trial spawners. Most of the loot across all the strongholds remains pretty consistent so that we kind of have that as a sort of base to operate from, so all the strongholds don't feel too imbalanced. So we have this big pile of gold, a chest that will be filled with some standard, though somewhat enhanced stronghold loot, some decorated pots, and then a trial vault, an ominous trial vault. This chest back here is what I call the treasure chest, and it's primarily used to serve as more valuable loot that you might find at the end of a library room, in the end portal room, or otherwise as a reward for solving a puzzle. New to the Plains Stronghold, I've added these 2 different piles of gravel that I can have generate as loot to just kind of help fill out a little bit more of the stronghold, and in particular add some more randomness to those piles of gravel that we already have generating in many of the rooms. The important thing here is the trial spawners, which of course go hand in hand with the trial vaults. I'm personally a big proponent of including trial spawners in many other structures besides trial chambers because of their ability to offer a unique and consistent combat experience, because you can control how many mobs spawn from each spawner based on the number of players, and because you can control the loot that they eject, we can fit this to a variety of different structure ideas. For the Plains Stronghold, we have 4 different kinds of mobs that you can find from trial spawners as you're exploring. First up, we have a zombie villager that's always going to be wielding... First up, we have a zombie villager that's always going to be wielding either a wooden, stone, or iron spear. I really like the concept of having a zombie villager rather than a zombie for the Plains Stronghold because it feels so much more like a living city or village that has been abandoned or perhaps zombified. Of course, being able to produce zombie villagers at will would be kind of overpowered, so I've made it so that these particular zombie villagers are immune to the weakness effect, which means you can never give them a golden apple and therefore never cure them. They are zombie villagers only so that they feel thematically appropriate as you are fighting your way through the Plains Stronghold. Now, the fact that these and the skeletons spawn with spears means that the Plains Stronghold presents a very unique combat challenge compared to some of the other strongholds. Spears are a pretty powerful weapon, and especially when wielded by mobs, they really change how you need to engage in combat with them. Specifically, you'll see if I switch to survival, as the skeleton gets close to me, he's going to be able to deal pretty good and consistent damage, even from a pretty good distance. So, yeah, that's pretty effective. But if we allow ourselves to get hit a little bit and get in close, he can no longer hurt us, and we can attack completely unimpeded, which I think makes these feel fairly balanced. It's definitely going to require the player to learn how to fight against mobs wielding spears, but hopefully, since we have them in the form of husks riding on camel husks in the desert now, and they can spawn on zombies out in the normal overworld as well, players will have at least some experience fighting spears, and in particular, once they're fighting a lot of them, they should learn pretty quickly that if you can get a mob that has a spear into a corner, backed into a wall or something like that, then you're going to be able to hit them without knocking them back too far that they're able to hit you. Now, also in this stronghold are spiders, which normally aren't going to have anything special about them. But during an ominous trial, those spider spawners are instead going to spawn spider jockeys that, unlike regular spider jockeys, are going to have skeletons wielding spears. Now, what's particularly interesting and difficult about these mobs is that only the spider is the one that counts for the trial spawner. So if you kill the spider mount before killing the skeleton, you're going to get another spider jockey before you've potentially dealt with the more serious threat of that spear-wielding skeleton. So aiming for the skeleton first is the better strategy. That way you can handle just a couple of spider jockeys at a time and focus on the much easier to fight spiders after you've dealt with the more significant combat threat. And speaking of significant, the last trial spawner we have is what I call typically the boss trial spawner. It isn't necessarily intended to be a boss fight, it's just a more challenging, more difficult mob that might be encountered only in particular rooms that are designed for it. Think of the breeze in the trial chambers. It isn't really a boss, but it is going to be a more significant and unique experience compared to some of the other mobs that you might find in a trial chamber. For the Plains Stronghold, that is this adorable scaled down Ravager. Ravagers are normally a pretty difficult mob, and this one's probably going to kill me because I'm so weak. That's okay, it's okay. As you can see, it has much reduced health, and even though it did take me down to half a heart because I was so low on health already, it has reduced attack damage and attack knockback as well. So it isn't like super duper difficult to defeat. However, the main thing you may have noticed there when the Ravager hit me is I ended up getting a potion effect, and that was because the Ravager attacks as though it is enchanted with Zombifying, the new custom enchantment that serves as one of the main loots from the Plains Stronghold. Many of the Biome Strongholds feature a custom enchantment that is semi-unique to it to serve as loot that you can find in that particular stronghold, as well as that can be enchanted on some of the mobs or the weapons of the mobs that you fight here to make them more challenging and more interesting to fight. The Zombifying enchantment works kind of like a reverse smite. It's not going to do anything special to undead mobs like husks, but if you're fighting living mobs like pillagers or pigs or anything like that, it's going to deal some extra damage and give it some potion effects. Specifically, affected mobs will get either slowness and or nausea, and the level and duration of those effects will be based on the level of the Zombifying enchantment, which goes up to a max of 3. And then unless the hit entity is a player, it's also going to get weakness, again, based on the level of the enchantment. The reason I excluded players is because, in particular, if you're fighting against a Ravager and it has Zombifying 1, or especially in an Ominous Trial, up to Zombifying 3, then the weakness effect can make it so that you're just unable to deal any damage at all, and that's obviously not ideal. So it's a pretty powerful effect when applied to players, so I've made it not apply to players. The nausea and slowness should still make this enchantment a fun one for PvP experiences, but it is especially relevant for PvE experiences. Now, believe it or not, these few small structures here are going to represent the bulk of the experience as you explore the stronghold. The actual builds, the rooms, the designs are important for having a stronghold that is fun and interesting to explore and potentially to live in, to find loot in, to fight in. But without that ability to fight, without that loot that you can find in it, it really wouldn't be that much of an improvement from the vanilla stronghold. It would just be a slightly different aesthetic. So let's head into a test world and make sure that all the jigsaw blocks that I've pre-placed inside all of these rooms correctly generate all the spawners and loot, and that we're getting a nice mix of all the different kinds of mobs and chests and treasure that you can find in the Plains Stronghold. Oh yes, this is a much more proper stronghold. It's a little hard to find, but there is our starting staircase. Appears to take us directly into an extra large complex based on how many rooms are all interconnected here, hallways and other room types. very, very nice and dense, but also with this nice big gap in the middle as well. So you're kind of winding around a more intricate sort of maze as you're exploring the stronghold. But none of that is necessarily anything new other than the changes in weights to make it so that these larger complexes are more common earlier on, and then they start to taper off into the more large, medium, and especially small complexes as you get further away into those Type 2 complexes away from the portal room, which is right there. Let's hop into the starting staircase and start taking a look at all the spawners and things that should be generating now. Got a skeleton spawner right here in this first music room that we can tell again based on that jukebox. Got a farm over here. This one doesn't have any spawners or loot, so it's going to be generally a little bit safe. And then even over here, this room has a chance to have a spawner. There's a jigsaw block, I think right about here or so, to generate a spawner right here. However, as with all the other strongholds, the template pool that jigsaw block generates only has a chance to generate a trial spawner. Otherwise, it'll just generate an empty structure template. This allows us to have a little bit more variety, not only in where spawners are placed, but exactly how dense they're going to be as you're exploring a particular room or even series of rooms in the stronghold. Looks like we missed our chance for a spawner over there and over here. So this is a particularly safe area to maybe set up a little bit of a base camp, kind of recuperate before you continue further into the stronghold where we have a spawner right here. Oops. We can continue around these piles of gravel and through the stronghold to see if we can find our way to the end portal room and make sure that that's generating its structure pieces correctly. Looks like we had a little bit of gravel fall onto the farm plot here, which I think is totally fine. Actually really like that. And then through here, this looks like it's probably, yes, I believe this is the portal room. Awesome. So there's going to be 100% chance for a spawner to generate up on this bridge. And then once you go down into the portal room proper, wow, we got a 3-eye, that's pretty good. And then down here in the portal room proper is one of those areas where we have a guaranteed Ravager spawner as the sort of boss mob for this structure, as well as a 100% chance for another type of trial spawner over on this side. Got some treasure loot over here, as well as a trial vault on this side, and then there's some chances for loot over in these corners, which looks like only succeeded for this one right here. We got some pots. All of this should work together to make exploring this stronghold much more exciting and engaging and combat-oriented than the vanilla stronghold. You don't need to rely on mobs happening to spawn where it's dark. We get a much more controlled and consistent combat experience and unique and designated encounters within each of these rooms. However, we are still missing one important element of Strongholds. We've got a lot of different kinds of rooms here, but one thing that we're notably missing is the library rooms. So in addition to a proper library room that has bookshelves and things like that, we have 4 other types of large rooms, which we'll get into in a little bit more detail momentarily. All of these are going to be generated by the same system. Anywhere where we have these jigsaw blocks that have a gold block in front of them is always going to attempt to generate a large room if they have enough room. Otherwise, they'll just generate a regular room. This will distribute large rooms through much of the stronghold. There is one of these jigsaw blocks in every complex, similarly to how we're handling those diamond block jigsaw blocks, but we're not restricting them to only be on the path to the end portal room. This makes their behavior largely different from how the library rooms get handled in the vanilla stronghold, where they can have a maximum of 2. In our strongholds, there will be a lot more large rooms on average, but just the same as the vanilla one, there is going to be a chance that there won't be any, though I think it's pretty unlikely. First up is our classic library room. Behind all these cobwebs, we have some very nice ornate bookshelves, and the cobwebs themselves will get removed in part by a processor as the structure is generated. You enter into this lower floor with these really cool columns, I think, and we have a bit of a reading nook back here that has even an enchanting table, which is pretty nice, and this is where the Ravager spawner for this particular room will be. There are lots of other locations where there's chances for spawners to generate, though in less frequency than throughout the rest of the stronghold. Each of these jigsaws only has a 50% chance to generate a spawner, as opposed to the rest of the stronghold, which has a 75% chance. And because of the way that jigsaw blocks work, some of these locations are going to have loot instead of a spawner or spawner instead of loot. The reason this works is because you can't have two jigsaw structure pieces that are intersecting or overlapping with each other. You can have a jigsaw piece like this that is one large room and has several jigsaw pieces that generate inside of it. But within that, or within any kind of jigsaw situation, if you have a jigsaw block that generates, for example, like a 3x3x3 cube right here, if this one happens to generate first, this one cannot generate anything inside or intersecting that same space. And just the same if this was 1x1, this would not be able to generate a 3x3 and vice versa. So we can leverage that to have two different jigsaw blocks that are going to occupy the same space and just let it be up to random chance whether it's going to be loot, whether it's going to be a spawner, or whether it's going to be empty if both of those fail. You may also hear the sound of pages turning as I'm flying around this room, and that's because this library room features the return of the puzzle from the Jungle Strongholds library, the bookshelf puzzle. Okay, I don't think any page turning sounds played while I was giving that spiel, but believe me, oh, there's one. The initial playtest of this puzzle in the Jungle Stronghold proved just a little bit unintuitive, and so I've added a feature both to the Jungle Stronghold as well as here to help make this easier for the players. There are some item frames around the room that each have an ancient tome numbered between 1 and 3. These are just completely vanilla books that happen to have enchantment glint, but their names are meant to be your clue, your indicator that you only need 4 books. You don't need to place these specific books into the chiseled bookshelves, though I imagine most players probably will just out of convenience. But it's to help clue you in that you only need 4 books, and therefore 1 book per chiseled bookshelf in order to complete the puzzle and spawn a treasure chest up here on this balcony. We'll see if this addition helps improve the experience of solving this puzzle when we get to the playtest later. This next room is probably my favorite that I've ever built for any of these strongholds. I'm calling it the market room. It really is meant to look and feel like you've just walked into almost like a Disneyland or Las Vegas type of indoor bazaar that is pretending to be outdoors. We've got all kinds of little market stalls here that act as shops for different kinds of professions. So we've got like a farm shop here that has a composter outside. And if you go through the door and inside, then we get another farm, very similar to what we've seen in some of the other rooms. Over here, we've got kind of like a weaver's shop. So we've got a loom over here, and in the back, some more wool and looms. And even some other shops that don't have representation in much of the rest of the stronghold, like this Fletcher's workshop that has target blocks, hay blocks, and some fletching tables. And that's just the first floor. Where on the first floor we have all these different market shops, 2 of these have ladders that are dubiously hidden and take you up to the second floor where we have more residential areas. Many of these are, of course, filled with gravel, but they've got beds, they've got small chests, some decorated pots. You'll be able to find several things up on these balconies and hallways as you walk around, in addition to, or rather including, some spawners and some loot. The aesthetic design of this, I think I'm just really, really proud of. It really makes you feel like you are walking down a real living, or at least what was once a real living street with market stalls and housing and things. But of course, all this is also mechanically relevant. There is a puzzle here, and this is the return of the color puzzle that we've seen in a few strongholds so far. When you press this button right here, that'll activate the puzzle and make all of these magenta glazed terracotta blocks start to occasionally emit some colored particles above them to indicate what color of block you need to place on them, either blue, red, green, or yellow. Some of these blocks you can find lying around easily enough. Obviously, blue, red, and yellow are pretty common throughout much of the stronghold. However, I very intentionally made it so there are no green wool blocks in this particular room, or indeed, I think, in the rest of the structure at all. We've got lime wool blocks here, but that isn't going to cut it. You do need actually green blocks. Now, you don't have to use terracotta, you don't have to use wool. In fact, the kind of hint, the clue for this puzzle lies inside some of these gravel piles. Rather than suspicious gravel, you'll find some colored concrete powder, the same colors that you need to put on the glazed magenta terracotta. Again, you don't have to use the concrete powder, though I suspect at least for the green, that's probably going to be what most players will end up using because that's what they'll have on hand, but for the rest you could just easily tear away the walls here. There's nothing else too fancy about this puzzle. When you do solve it, it's going to spawn a treasure chest right here as your reward for completing the puzzle, which has some pretty valuable loot. And then our final two rooms are the treasure room. This is generally pretty consistent across all the different strongholds. It's pretty small, but has a ton of guaranteed loot and also one boss spawner. For this particular stronghold, I've decided to make 3 variants of the same room that each just have a different design for the walls to pay respect to the fact that much of the rooms in the Plains Stronghold also have various different wall designs. And lastly, we have the sleeping quarters, which I think is one of the most important rooms in any stronghold. Although we already have the housing room that you're probably going to find more frequently throughout the stronghold because it's one of the regular rooms that the complexes are made of, I do think it's important to have a designated sleeping quarters room, kind of for the same reason that you find beds in the trial chambers. It serves as a location for players to rest their heads, set their respawn point, and just kind of generally recover and have a home base in the stronghold. There are no spawners in this room, however, there is a jukebox puzzle hiding underneath this gravel, and so we have a decorated pot somewhere around here that'll drop a music disc so you can get down to the lower floor, which has 2 more beds, as well as some ominous trial spawners behind these iron bars. Nothing too crazy, just a fun design. Now, in addition to all these large rooms, I've also built what I'm calling room terminus structures. We've got 3 of them here, and they're just small little end cap rooms that don't lead anywhere and are meant to be used as kind of that fallback structure for when you get a room at the end of a particular complex chain that isn't going to generate anything else beyond it, so that we don't have just those blank dead end walls. Sometimes you'll have a small little alcove that'll have a spawner or some loot, or in this case, a little bit of gravel that'll be filled with suspicious gravel. This suspicious gravel room, as well as some of the rooms in the market structure, is also the return of the puzzle chest from the Savannah Stronghold, which I was particularly proud of, especially from the playtest from that video. This is a copper chest that is totally normal, totally empty, and currently has an item display sitting empty inside of it. When a player gets close in survival, the chest will become locked but will not be filled with loot, and then a random item will be selected from among some of the items that you'll find relatively commonly throughout the stronghold to be displayed above the chest. The chest is locked with that item as the key, and when you open it with that item, then you can access and it will become filled with some treasure loot. So this serves as a nice, small, and relatively easy to participate in self-contained puzzle. Let's give these large rooms one final generation test before we head into the playtest and see how some real survival players explore the Plains Stronghold. Oh wow, yeah, this happens to be a particularly large stronghold as it is, and the addition of the large rooms like this market, that temple there, and this library just expand it out quite a bit. This is probably a particularly high end of the scale for the size of Plains Strongholds, but I still think it's probably learnable as far as the navigation to get from that starting staircase down to the portal room. You just kind of gotta know and learn what it is that you're looking for. Let's come on down here and just make sure that we actually do have a portal room. Yep, here it is right here. But of course, this is not why we're here. Let's head to some of those large rooms and double check that the processes are applying correctly, that we're getting some of those puzzles, and that they can be solved. Starting with the library, clearly we have lost the pile of gravel that generated here as a loot structure, but that's totally okay. Obviously, that's not really going to happen very much, if at all, in a real stronghold generation because it won't be in a flat world where there's just air below it. Mob spawning is turned off, so we should be safe to switch to survival real quick to trigger the puzzle without spawning a bunch of ravagers to attack me. We can go ahead and grab one of these books and go and find all of those chiseled bookshelves and see if we can solve the puzzle correctly. So let's see, we have to wait a little while to see if we get those red skulls or those happy green particles. Okay, so that's not in the right spot. We'll try here. Nope, not there. Okay, we'll try the next one. Okay, we got that happy particle, so we know that this one is correct. I'll zoom through the next two real quick, and then we'll do the last one together to make sure that that treasure spawns correctly. Alright, so I've solved 3 of the bookshelves now, having forgotten that 0 is a potential correct number of books, so this one is actually already emitting some green particles without me having to do anything. So that leaves this as the last bookshelf. And the nice thing is, once you get to the last bookshelf, once you know there's only one left, you just need to kind of work through each slot for a moment until you happen to get to the correct answer. And that'll generate, like I said, that treasure chest up here on the top balcony, which has some pretty solid loot, including a block of iron. That's not bad. Some golden carrots. Pretty nice enchanted iron pickaxe. Now I'm really excited to head up to the market and see how that turned out. So I'm going to actually break in over here so that we can enter in kind of as intended. The extra polished granite from the processor really makes the roof feel more complete. I didn't really want to add any of the like cyan glazed terracotta up in the roof here because this really was meant to be almost kind of like ignored and forgotten as far as the roof goes. Again, I wanted this to feel almost like Disneyland or Las Vegas, where you're supposed to feel the illusion of what's kind of at ground level, what's at eye level, and pretend that the ceiling doesn't exist. But with that in mind, the polished granite helps break it up a little bit, which I think is nice. We can go ahead and break this button here to trigger the color puzzle. We should be able to solve this relatively quickly. I find that the best strategy is to kind of stand so you're in view of two of these magenta glazed terracottas. So we can see this one is green because it had those green kind of snot particles, and that one is red because it had those fire particles. So we can go ahead and grab for sure a red right here, slap that right there, and I know that we can head into the farm to go and get that green concrete powder without me having to open the creative inventory. We can also grab the yellow wool from this, and then we'll grab the blue terracotta from here as we get a look at both of these two magenta terracottas. Oh, I think I saw some blue particles there, which should leave this one as yellow. And that does produce our treasure chest over here as well. This one seems a bit better, quite a bit better. We've got 3 blocks of iron, an okay enchanted bow, and an ender pearl, which is a rare find. Yeah, this whole room just looks so awesome. And I believe if we come, I think it's in here. Yeah, we can get rid of this gravel to find the ladder up to the second floor. Got to kind of dig our way out so we can get into the living area up here. Yeah, I'm really happy with how these large rooms have turned out. Oh, and we should probably switch to survival mode so that we can, I just heard the sound of one, check out the puzzle chests as well. Here is a copper chest that needs an ender pearl. Luckily, we just got one from the treasure chest out here. Let's grab that. And we can hop back on in here and open up what is currently a locked chest with the correct key to get even more treasure loot. Of course, we can't be sure that this stronghold behaves the way we want it to without having some players playtest it in survival mode. So I've invited back my friends Nice Name, Ryan the Scion, and Daskalos, especially Daskalos because this is so archaeology themed, to help me see if this stronghold is fun and works correctly. Welcome back, everybody. I hope you had a good break from the last stronghold.
Yeah, I'm still a little sore from that. Yeah.
It was still recovering, I guess. That was a rough one.
Yeah, this one should be a lot more normal. The Savannah Stronghold, of course, had a lot of traps, but this one, you might be able to guess, is a little bit plainer.
Oh, it's flat.
Oh, I'm disconnecting if you're going to use puns like that.
Oh. All right, well, to keep you here, go ahead and get geared up.
I still have my Bronze Age texture pack on, so yeah. So I'm like looking at it like, oh, hell yeah, he got it right. And then I realized, no, that's just me.
All right, well, I believe, Daskalos, you threw the Eye of Ender last time, so maybe we'll give Ryan a chance.
All right.
Here goes nothing.
Oh, you're triangulating.
We throw another one here.
Triangulating.
Okay, it's pretty close.
I did the math.
Whoa, okay, all right. You ready to dig, boys?
Yeah, do the honors.
And I'll meet you guys down there.
Oh. Okay, like a trail ruin, right?
These are natural bricks.
I'm so afraid walking in here.
Yeah, we don't have any torches.
This one seems to be out of... Wait, no, it's hanging on a chain. Okay, never mind. I don't think it's out of place.
What's down here? Oh, here's some torches.
Fresh horror.
What sick horrors do we have here? Is it just a normal spider? Oh. There's also these things. No, my sword!
Okay.
I'm an archaeologist.
Oh, there's a spider. It's up in the ceiling.
Oh, a key. Oh.
Where did it come from? How did it get me?
Nice.
Oh, the ones with wooden spears are so weak. It's kind of pathetic. Oh.
That's your little feats.
Good use of your
They
shield.
keep showing up.
Good work, Ryan.
You'd think
Alright.
someone who has an education in, classical civilizations would use a shield.
Oh, should I drink an ominous bottle again, or have we decided that was a bad idea?
I have rebalanced these trial spawners.
Oh, so they're not going to be like actually deranged levels of difficulty?
Hopefully not.
Do they have like a weird hook thing to them where they're pulling me towards them? Or am I being silly?
I don't think so. You guys are going two very different directions.
Yes, yeah. We'll go back to.
Decorated pots.
What did I get?
Those are
I got a
cool.
key, a trial key. Okay.
Nice.
Interesting.
Very nice. Very nice. That can be brushed. I went up. What is that? Is that it? Oh, an iron ingot. That's incredible. There's a.
I see.
Oh. Okay. There's probably a
All
bunch of spiders gonna show up in here. Oh, an enchanting setup. Oh, he's a baby ravager.
What?
So cute. I had to kill him though. I'm killing his friend as well.
They add those?
That was his brother.
Did you see him? Yeah, you saw him. Uh-oh. Do you have one of the the cool keys with like the three
another
skulls?
No, that's only if you have the ominous.
Is that another one?
Oh, you have to do the ominous one to get it?
That isn't.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, there's two of the little boxes
Dang.
over here.
I'm getting a ton of these
Regular.
golden apples.
Oh. Ancient tome number 1.
I hope you
That-
recorded
where's
where that
that?
came from.
I feel is useful. It came from the library.
Did you write it
I
down?
mean, like
Not yet. Not yet.
Mhm.
in a chest.
Okay. I'm gonna get a lot of use out of the "that belongs in a museum" video. This.
Good work, Tascalos. Yep, stay in close. Nice.
Oop.
Getting ganged up on.
Yep.
Ooh, here's another book. Here's a book.
Oh, I did.
Oh man.
Oh,
Yeah,
ancient
you said
tome
that.
number 4. Okay.
All right. Oh, there's one over there.
I'm putting it
On the
in
other
my
side.
bundle.
Oh my God. How many of these guys are
On
coming?
the other side. Oh, yeah, there is another one.
Yeah, you're kind of
You're the
surrounded there,
tome.
Tascalos.
You're the tome collector.
Actually, maybe I do need the shovel in my
Where are
hopper.
you guys? Anyways.
We're in the library.
Here you go, Ryan.
Oh, you found it?
There's the. Now, what do we do with them?
Do you want to
Don't-
right click on
don't
this
pressure.
and try to get the bone meal out? Just grab it. I don't know if anything will happen.
So you're gonna
Oh.
make somebody else do it?
Yeah, exactly. Maybe if we bone meal the floor. Okay, but that would have been sick. That would have been cool. Ah! Oh, is it empty
Understood.
book? Are there chisel bookshelves in the library?
Probably
I'm going back.
hiding
I'm going back. I'm
behind
going back.
all the.
I forgot we have to be
cobwebs.
5 heads with this. Does the order the books are in matter? I don't know
I
how
don't think so.
much information can be gleaned from these.
Oh, I found one.
3?
Okay, there's one up here, Ryan. At the.
Oh, we are looking for different ones?
Yeah, there's 4 of them. Ryan, the one you found was on the first floor.
Yeah. And I already put one in it.
Ah, cobweb.
But was it in the right spot?
Oh no, they matter.
Wait, does that matter?
Yeah.
I would look for particles. Like if you put it in and there's like positive or
okay,
negative
okay.
particles, it's got to you
So-
gotta go off vibes.
I'll say, so it's not vanilla behavior for it?
Oh no.
Okay.
This is like advanced wizardry.
Yeah.
No. Oh, there's one. Tome 3. What is slot 3? Oh, yeah, there's little red particles.
Yeah, red is maybe bad.
They look like little red skulls, so that could be really bad.
Have you only done the one chiseled bookshelf?
I've put in
There's-
3.
Yeah,
Okay.
so we're looking for one more, probably on the first floor then.
Okay. Oh, I found it.
So, all right,
Okay.
this is a good breakup of action and like
Yeah.
exploration.
breaking up.
Ooh, wait? Also, Ryan, the position matters
Yeah.
too, right?
Yes.
Okay.
That one's got red skulls, and you're telling me that that's bad?
I mean,
It's ominous.
historically,
that's for sure.
Yeah,
What if it just-
historically,
if we-
skulls are probably bad.
Yeah, if we put it in wrong, does it just kill them? Oh, a green particle.
great. All right.
Yo.
That's good.
We'll see if you can get some green particles over here. Oh,
Woo.
Oh! green particle.
You're
Green
a
particle.
master puzzle
Oh,
solver.
do I even have particles on?
Oh,
That might be an issue. Yep, I didn't even have particles on. Okay, let's try that
Okay.
again.
Yeah. So what? You got the last book, or is the last book
Oh.
still in?
Oh,
We got green.
okay,
Green.
so
that
we
was
got green
red.
from here.
I need that one. One moment. Oh, slot 1 of
there
Green.
you
bottom
go.
one. Wait, was that green?
That was green. Yep. Can I make more room for particles around it?
Hey.
Oh, we got a dirt chest. Or a mud brick chest.
Oh,
I'm getting the heck out of here.
All right.
Stop attacking me. I'm trying to light up the area so we can fight better.
Oh, okay.
I love this
Oh.
little market room.
This is, I think,
Skeleton,
my favorite room I've ever built.
This one is so good. This one is 10 out of 10 for that design. That's wonderful. Oh, okay. So I'm getting attacked.
Ryan,
That's
you
fine.
should probably activate 4 trial spawners in a row.
I was lighting up the area. It's good strategy. Okay.
I'm just brushing suspicious gravel over here.
Here, I'll just break everything that's
Where it
not
came from.
suspicious gravel, so that way you can go around and be crazy with it.
Oop.
Oh, there's a red. This might be a puzzle. I have
okay.
red concrete powder. So part of me feels like maybe that's important.
Oh,
I have an apple on a chest. And I have an apple.
I don't know what this is because my texture pack is still on. I think this is
did
a
it
diamond block.
correctly.
Iron block.
Iron
I
block.
gotta do
Okay.
Yes.
Chest is locked. Okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, bam,
So it's- oh.
opened.
How did you do that?
I had an iron block and I used it as a key. to
Oh,
open it.
okay.
I got a green concrete powder now as well. What is happening? What was that?
Me, this is alright. Just
What did you do? Ah,
That.
okay, I did the same thing.
breaking stuff.
Don't
You know,
worry,
just
don't worry.
normal archaeologist work. Just
Right.
smashing.
Hey now. Hey now.
Oh, I got a blue one. Oh, you got one of those good potions. You gotta drink that.
Yeah, exactly. What's up with these
Yeah.
particles? I
Did
keep
we
seeing
open this, or did
particles-
someone come down here and open
More
it?
particles?
I keep seeing particles like underneath these little, this little wool here, like here and over,
Oh, yeah.
over here. Like I would see
It's
flame.
where this
Oh, you
block is
do?
at. Yeah, this block produces like little particles, like little
Oh,
yellow orange. But then
The arrows
there's
pointing in that
one.
direction.
There's another terracotta over here.
Blue.
I don't know if this one's.
Both pointing up. Maybe we got to put stuff on it. Oh, hey,
Purple.
you guys want some music?
We got green. Just wait.
There we go.
Oh, what'd
I
you
got
do? That's
blue.
close.
Hey. Well, screw you guys. I'm going.
What? Wait, where you go? Where's he going?
Oh, that was a dumb idea. That was a really dumb idea. Okay.
It's only
I
this
haven't
block that has.
I would say I
the
haven't
particles.
seen any of these particles. Oh.
Oh, look at that.
So what color were those particles?
I think they were yellow.
Yeah,
Oh,
yellow
It
orange.
was as soon as I opened my inventory. But have you found a yellow concrete powder?
No.
I only have red, green, and blue.
I mean, there's yellow up here, but it's part of the structure. So I'm sure that survival maps sort of etiquette applies here.
No, we got
Oh,
another
the block. Gotcha.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we got another
structure void.
block. That's
Ah,
that's
it was
bad
green.
design.
I saw
This one was
particles
green?
finally. Yes. Okay, where's the last? Down here. Down here. Here's one.
There's this one.
Oh, you got one
Nothing
down there.
immediately happened.
There's one
Nothing
more.
immediately
There.
happened.
Hmm.
Oh, fire! Fire on this one.
Oh,
Oh, and red.
what is this one then? Do I see anything?
I don't understand the fire.
I do
part.
like
Oh,
the fact that everybody's just doing stuff and I'm just wandering around.
Oh, here it is. Here it is.
We're all just wandering around.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's true. That is true.
Oh, Dascalis drank an ominous bottle.
On accident.
No.
That was totally on accident. That was my mistake.
He's real hungry. He was real hungry for a challenge. Oh,
I thought I was throwing my shield up.
a gapple.
Oh, hi, guys.
Oh, hello.
Ah! Oh my god!
Very unhealthy man coming to kill you.
Right. Good work. Nice staying in close.
Oh,
Ominous,
there's a lot.
chest.
There's a lot over here to brush.
We need some ominous,
I broke another one.
suspicious gravel.
Ominous
suspicious gravel.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Pretty good.
You know, I'm gonna put this ominous bottle in
Whoa.
the chest so I don't accidentally drink it.
Good thinking.
Farmers with spears.
It's a revolt.
Well, we can't give them a hose.
Oh my god.
Oh.
Ah,
Oh, there's stairs. Oh, I'm downstairs.
keys.
Oh!
Almost keys.
Yo! What the heck? Oh, I almost died from that. Holy.
Oh,
What?
you are in
How do
big
I always
danger,
get-
right?
No, I'm a skilled gamer.
Ryan says he's fine. He's fine.
Easy. You give me one gapple, I eat for a minute. You teach me how to gapple, I eat for a lifetime. Where's it? He keeps.
That's almost certainly how it works.
I've
Gotcha.
found it. Bing,
I'm not bringing. Oh shoot. Ah,
bing, 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 bong.
I'm on my way.
I'm on my way. No, it's happening
Oh,
again.
come on.
Stack up gravel.
You know what? I think I figured it out, guys. I think the one with the creeper on it is the one that does bad stuff. I got a pillar with something.
Did you put the eyes in the top one up here, or was that already in there?
It was buried.
Ah, it was in the suspicious gravel.
Yeah.
Oh man.
The best part is you don't have to brush those ones out. You can just destroy it. What the? He just fell from the sky.
I'm doing it for the immersion, right?
Well, I've never been
Oh,
immersed a
good
day in my
lord.
life. Is that a piece
Ravager.
of bread? No,
That
he's-
Ravager is super interested in you.
Wait, oh, he's big.
Oh yeah,
I had to kill him.
Dusklos is here, so now it's ominous.
Yep.
Wait, did I drink? I didn't drink one. Did I?
Years
I mean,
ago.
I drank one earlier, but I didn't realize it was going to still be in effect.
Oh, yeah. It lasts like half an hour.
Yeah. Dusklos. Some of the eyes are in the gravel, so you have to like brush or hit the gravel.
I love hearing the sounds of 3 people brushing at the same time.
A lot of bread. Okay, I don't have another eye to throw into this one,
Oh, I got one.
but it
Where
is
you?
uncovered.
Where are you at? Up top?
All of the iron blocks.
Yeah, Jesus. 1% man up here.
Well, I needed to build with something, and he said I can't take these back home with me.
This one? Nope.
You
Wait.
found the tell. Nice.
Hold on, we're supposed to be finding the eyes, or the eyes already in there?
The blocks that register them, like the end portal blocks, are inside
frame.
the.
Oh,
So if you brush them and like
Right here.
nothing starts to come out, I don't have any eyes. I don't have
Oh,
any.
never mind. Do whatever you want. Start keep counting and running around.
I think I got one.
Down here, Dusklos.
Oh, okay.
Ryan's just clearing it all out.
Yeah.
If you have an eye,
Yep, I do. I've got 3 more left.
Ryan's just going for broke and breaking everything now.
Right.
Oh
So
yeah.
I think I got.
Got it.
Let me go ahead and put the eye on this. Go.
Let's go.
Well, congratulations, guys. How was that archaeology experience?
Oh,
It was fun.
Yeah, it was all right.
Yeah. Yeah, there was a good amount of puzzle. The spear guys weren't that bad. Like, I was expecting worse.
It was not as horrifyingly difficult as the last one. Thank goodness.
Yeah, once you know how
Yeah,
to
what?
fight spears, they're not too tough. The ominous trial didn't seem to set you guys back too far either.
No,
No,
it
that
was-
wasn't
I mean,
that wasn't
no.
that bad.
So
It's
whoever
like a-
drank
the-
that should just be forgiven
Yes.
because it wasn't that bad. It obviously. So I don't know who drank it, but maybe he's all right.
And how was the end portal puzzle?
I think
but
it's
it
theme
is fun to
appropriate.
Just like go look for all of them.
Yeah.
Is there a
On
way
brand.
to brush the? Maybe this is how it ended up because I didn't brush any of them. But is there a way to brush the ominous or the suspicious gravel and have it turn into the block?
That's exactly how they work, yeah.
Oh, that's how they work. Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah,
See,
yeah.
I didn't get a chance to brush any of them, so I didn't.
Oh, yeah. So the trick is, if
Okay.
you brush them, then it reveals the portal frame block. But if you break the suspicious gravel, you still get the portal block, but it also triggers a trap.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay. That's a good. That's good. I like that.
Well, I think you guys have earned it. Go ahead and hop into the end.
Yeah.
Remember to like and subscribe for more custom structures, world gen, and data pack content. If you'd like to learn to make custom structures yourself, check the link in the description for my very thorough written guide. And to support the channel and participate in NPC fights at the end of every video like this one, please consider joining my Patreon. Congratulations to today's winner, Craig's Cottage, and thanks for watching!